Ah, yes, good afternoon. This is Paul the Pipe Guy. Yeah, live from the outskirts of Rochester, New York. And one of my subscribers asked about this Thanksgiving blend. And I think it was Sergeant Savinelli. Check out his channel, Sergeant Savinelli. He's a presenter on YouTube. Nice man. And he was actually good friends with Matches 860. So I believe it was one of Sergeant Savinelli's videos that I watched 2 or 3 years ago, where he was talking about the LJ Peretti Thanksgiving Day blend. And LJ Peretti, they're out of Boston, Massachusetts. They actually started the company back in 1870, okay? And they, since 1939, every single year, they make what's called a Thanksgiving Day blend. Now, I wanted to know, okay, this one is from 11/26 of 2021. Got a lot of sun coming out all of a sudden. It's cold outside. It's like only like 32 degrees. Not my favorite weather. So yeah, my first blend that I bought was I got it on 11/26 of 2021 of Thanksgiving Day by LJ Peretti, and then I smoked maybe one bowl out of it because it's something that I want to just do kind of once a year around the holidays, twice a year. And then on 11/13 of 2022 was the second year I bought the Thanksgiving Day blend. And then, of course, this year I bought it and received it on 11/12 of 2023. So I have 3 years worth of their blend that they've been making, and it's a limited time only. Basically what it is, it's made by LJ Peretti and Company, Thanksgiving Day. It's an aromatic blend. It's basically burley and Virginia, and the flavoring is anisette, fruit, citrus, rum, and it comes in a 4-ounce crumble cake. And it retails for $26 for a 4-ounce crumble cake, plus taxes and then shipping and so forth. So it's a great deal, and I personally like this tobacco. So one of my subscribers asked if I would compare the 2021 blend with the 2023 blend that I just got. And I was like, that sounds like a cool idea. So what we have, I have two Savinellis, all right? The first one here I bought brand new, all right? And it's a bigger bowl. So it's a Savinelli Porto Servo, bowl number 140, Italy. And that is the first pipe. We have it in a rosewood pipe holder right there. And the second pipe that I have, I bought this brand new. This is a Savinelli Petite, and it's a bowl number 626. I bought that one brand new also. I wanted to try to find two pipes that were similar bowl size, because I think a different bowl size is going to have a difference. It's going to give you a little bit of a difference as far as the taste that you're going to get. So we may just use this small Savinelli and then try a little bit of the 2021 blend, and then try a little bit of the 2023 blend. Let me think on that for a second. I'm going to pause the video. We'll be back in a nanosecond. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. We'll be right back. Okay, so we're back, and I just thought of something. We have our Savinelli bowl number 626 loaded up with the 2021 Thanksgiving Day blend. I've decided to use just one pipe, and the reason is because you could have one blend that you smoke out of one pipe, and then if you smoke it out of a different pipe, it's going to taste different. So it all goes back to a video I watched that someone once said, one of the presenters, I can't remember, in the white YouTube pipe community, if you have a tobacco that you don't like, try it in a different pipe. And if you still don't like it, try it in another different pipe. And if you still don't like it, cellar it. for a year, 2 years, then try it again. And if you still don't like it, well, maybe then you still just don't like it. But my thought is to get one pipe that's just dedicated to this Thanksgiving Day blend. And I still haven't smoked this Mr. Bragg. This is one of their high-end pipes. And the owner of Mr. Bragg, who's been making pipes in Poland since 1947, I bought this, and but it's too big to, in my opinion, I mean, I could fit probably a quarter of an ounce in that bowl. It's a monster of a pipe. I can almost fit my thumb in it. All right, that's how big the bowl is, and I think it's like almost like 1.75 inches deep. But I thought about maybe dedicating that pipe. I'm not going to. It's too large. I'm going to buy a brand new pipe. Don't know what kind yet, but it's going to be dedicated just to this blend once a year. Just like I have my Church Warden pipe made by Mr. Bragg, bowl number 14. That I only smoke Church Warden out of. So we've rambled on long enough here. Let's start something on fire, okay? So we have our 2021 blend in here. Ooh. Mm. That's smooth. That tobacco's smooth. It's moist when I lit it. Did my char light, it rose up in the bowl. I wanted to smell it first, but so the 2021 blend, let's just smell it. There it is. It comes in a crumble cake. Yeah, I could definitely smell some fruity flavors. I can smell the anisette just a tiny bit, and they said there's rum in here, but I'm not really smelling that. I can smell like a fruity, citrusy flavor. And I can smell a tiny bit of the burleys, just a tiny bit. So let's cap that up till next year. Let's, now that we've done our char light, let's tamper down just ever so lightly, and let's enjoy it. Definitely smooth. Just a smooth, nice blend. I can taste a few nutty flavors in it. I can just taste a tiny bit of the rum backdrop. The thing with me, and I don't know if you guys and gals run into this, but if somebody lights up a cigarette or a cigar or a pipe, and I'm not smoking, I can smell the room note. But for some reason, when I go to light something up, I can't smell the room note. Now, if I walked outside for 5 minutes and then walk back into my home, I could smell the room note. But when I'm smoking it, I can't smell the room note. I don't know why that is. Yeah. So we're going to pause the video. We're going to try out the 2023 blend. I'll be right back in a nanosecond. Okay, so we're back, and I actually stepped out of the house for a couple of minutes, and walked back in, and the room note is really nice on this Thanksgiving Day blend tobacco. So we have the 2023 version here. Here's what it is: 4-ounce crumble cake, and it's actually quite loosely pressed. They have also crumble plug, which much higher pressure, but they did a nice job on this. When I called up to order it, because it wouldn't allow me to order it online, they're always nice people. They always send you a little receipt. Thank you very much, Paul. He's like, I don't know what's going on with the website or whatever, but we'll take your credit card over the phone. I says, I trust you, and he's like, oh, we're just swamped. We've got over 300 orders. And this was the first day that it was available, which I believe November 1st is when they start making this until they run out of it. It's only available in November, all right? And he says this year's batch turned out awesome, very, very busy there at LJ Peretti. Now this, not having aged, it's less than a month old. I can definitely smell the burley more in this. Let's try some. I'm going to leave this in the plastic, but yeah, this is really a very loose. I don't know if they had so many orders. I don't know. The other year's blends, they seem to be a lot more compacted. When you're making crumble plug, you put it under so much PSI with a press, and this seems a lot looser. I could almost shake this bag and it's falling apart for 2023, when the other years that I ordered them, it was pressed. It seemed to have been pressed a lot more, which is fine. And so we've got that spread out. Moisture content seems the same as on my 2021 blend. So we're going to pause the video, load up, and we'll test this one out. Yeah. Okay, so we're back. What I wanted to do is I had to wait about 15 or 20 minutes. I wanted to let this pipe cool down, because one thing that you never do, and I learned this, anything that I know about pipe smoking, most of it has been from my friends of the YouTube pipe community, and some of it I've learned through trial and error too. I've only been smoking a pipe for about 4.5 years, but you never take a warm pipe or a hot pipe and take the stem off to clean it. You just don't do that. You can break the stummel. So I wanted to let it cool down, clean it entirely out. So we have the 2023 blend in. And before I light this up, I do have to share this. When I opened the 2023 blend, it seemed a bit dry to me. Not dry like where it was crumbly, but I like my tobacco to have a fair amount of moisture content. And everyone is different. And so what I did is I went back and opened the 2021 blend, the 2022 blend, and the 2023 blend. I compared the moisture content. These have all been in ball mason jars. The moisture content was the same. And I thought for a moment that it wasn't pressed as much maybe this year as it was other years. And then I checked that out, and it was. So it was very, very consistent through all those 3 years. So the moisture content is good for most people. For me, like I said, I like my tobacco to have a little bit more moisture. But I can always make it my own. I can rehydrate it a little bit more. Not that it needs rehydrating. There's good raves about this tobacco and so forth, but I wanted it a little bit more moist, so I'm going to rehydrate them a little bit more just to get that moisture content up another 10 or 15%. So I already did the char light on this one. This is the 2023 blend. It does burn real good. Now, I did instantly notice a difference. The recipe remains the same. Now, the 2021 blend is only aged for 2 years, which really is not much to age a tobacco. So they do taste kind of similar. The 2021 blend that's aged now for 2 years is a little bit more mellow, just maybe 15 to 20% more mellow, in my personal opinion. But what a great blend. Why do I like it? I like it for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons why I like it, this blend, is because it's made by a company out of Boston that's been there since 1870. The other reason I like it, it's a small batch that they make only once a year, November 1st, since 1939. The other reason I like it is it's a proprietary blend, so it's limited production. But as far as those are the nostalgic reasons why I like this blend. As far as taste, I like the nuttiness of it. It's a good quality blend, in my opinion, because it's consistent throughout the years. I only have 3 years worth here. This is not a blend that you smoke like a freight train. It will burn hot if you smoke it like a freight train because of the moisture content. And I like to smoke my pipe sometimes a little hard, and that's why I like the tobacco to be a little more moister. But pretty much almost the same experience I'm having between the 2021 blend and the 2023 blend. You can taste a tiny bit of, they blended it so well that it's really hard to pick out the different components. It's kind of all like one taste, you know. But you can pick out the different things. The anisette, I'm starting to feel a little nicotine hit now. I'm ready to hiccup. So I'm not doing a review on this tobacco. I just wanted to compare 2021 to 2023, and it's very similar, although the 2021 blend, because it's aged for 2 years, is a little bit more mellow. And that's my take on the Thanksgiving Day blend. I'm about ready to hiccup. I do have a neck hit. Yeah. Anyways, Paul the Pipe Guy. Hope you enjoyed the video. Check out Sergeant Savinelli. I think it's SGT, or maybe he spells it out. I don't know. Just type in Sergeant Savinelli. And like I said, he was good friends with Matches 860, which most of you probably know of. And every year they would get together and smoke this blend together. And I found that I enjoy smoking pipes and cigars with other pipes and cigar smokers better than I like smoking them alone. Because you can sit there and you maybe both smoking different blends, the same, whatever, and there's just almost like a spiritual bonding between men. In fact, I've done a lot. I do remember this. I'm old enough to remember this. We had a local hardware store, and this was all across the country. So you didn't have Lowe's, you didn't have Home Depot, you didn't have the big box stores. You had the ma and pa little hardware stores where farmers would come in and the community would come in. They would buy what they needed from that land. They supported that local family, and they would carry. I remember those stores. They were kind of almost ending during my time, but you could buy fencing, but basically anything that you needed from a hardware store. But there was always a back room in the hardware store. When the hardware store would close, all right, the men would go home, they would have their dinners and so forth with their families, and then not every night, I suppose, but maybe 3 or 4 times a week, or maybe in some towns every night, the men would go back. A group of men would go back to the back room in the hardware store, which was probably smelled like grain, maybe molasses, horse feed with molasses in it, and they would sit around and maybe have a pint or two, or maybe sip on, some good whiskey, not getting drunk or anything like that. And they'd smoke their pipes and cigars and just kind of talk about what's going on in the community and this and that. And we've kind of lost that. But I do remember those days, and I have talked to people that are in their 90s that remember those days when the hardware store was kind of the local get-together for a family man that didn't want to go to a bar, but wanted to meet with some like-minded people and have a cigar or a pipe together and just sit and relax and chat after dinner. And then they'd go home and settle their houses for the night, and that was that. Those days are pretty much gone, unfortunately. Now in the UK, there's pubs, and that they're different from bars. I'm kind of getting off track here, but my parents did have the opportunity to go to Ireland for a month, and they went to church, and then the pastor took them all to a pub, which we call a bar here, but a pub is different. There's not people getting drunk or anything. They're enjoying, a pint and some food together or whatever, and it's more of a family type of thing, a pub is in the UK, which I haven't experienced, but I will. I don't know. That's my take on things. This video's gone on long enough. Paul the Pipe Guy. Check out Sergeant Savinelli. Yeah, he's a good man. Check him out. Subscribe to his channel. He just came out with a video smoking this today. Paul the Pipe Guy, live from the outskirts of Rochester, New York, in the United States of America. Over and out.